Okay. Go live. We are live and direct, which is a fun thing to be. Hope you're well. Let's see here. I got a slightly more sophisticated setup than usual. But it does depend on a certain amount of organization. But it allows me to manage things here in a way that it won't translate into a broadcast. You know, I can move windows around and stuff like that, and it doesn't disturb what the broadcast is, which is great, which has always been the goal. And part of that is because I fixed my 2012 or late 2011 or early 2012 MacBook Pro. I have a 16-inch MacBook Pro, or 15-inch MacBook Pro rather, from way back then. And it's an i7 maxed out RAM. I got like the Crucial RAM upgrade, like full package, and a Crucial super high bandwidth SSD. So it's a pretty fast computer, and it's aiding today in making this stream happen. So that's kind of nice. Today is Bandcamp Friday. And yeah, I missed last month's Bandcamp Friday, the July Bandcamp Friday. It was July 1st weekend here in Canada. But I was just way too behind in everything in life. And I couldn't make it happen. But here we are, first weekend of August, first Friday of August, and it is Bandcamp Friday. And we're going to take a look at a few releases. We've got a good handful of releases from members of the Bunn community, the Baritone Obsessed world, the Bandless community, etc. And as far as I know, most of these are going to be solo creators. However, there is definitely at least one that is a group effort. But I guess the principal writer is one fellow. We'll get into those details. But yeah, how many do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going from doom to post-metalcore to thal-ish stuff to just heavy to electronic to more heavy stuff. More core-ish. I'm not too sure on all the, you know, my what do you call it? Classifications, my genre classifications are probably weak because I'm not really that tuned into that. I see Al Paul in the chat. How you doing, Al Paul? We got some we got some Al Paul, something that rhymes with Paul, some tunes that rhyme with Paul. Might sound a little bit like Thal lined up. Hope you're well, Al Paul. Good to see you. Mr. Nick Hill. Very good to see you. I was shooting impulse responses all day today, Nick Hill. We are on the same paths these days. And yeah, if there are some releases, some Bandcamp Friday releases, has to be a Bandcamp release, but if there are some releases in the community that I'm not aware of, like I say, I have a good handful of stuff today, but if there's stuff that doesn't come up, let me know in the Discord. I have the Discord chat up. General, we got Rough Riffs, Don't Think I Can Make It, and Bandless. What do we got here? Okay. Yeah, so I got the Bandless and the Bunn Discords up. So if there is a release that I've missed or that you think that I might not have seen or something like that, that is a Bandcamp release that we can celebrate today, let me know in there. But otherwise, we're going to get into it. I got it all queued up. And I also got, whatchamacallit? I got quick keys quick keys make everything quicker. Nick says, sick, any standouts? I think you're asking in terms of the IRs that I was creating today. And just a quick little aside on that. Yeah, I shot a Mesa 2x12 oversized recto cab today. I own 2 of those. And even though it's a pretty standard, I have like versions of that. I have IRs of that cab, like that model from other people, but nothing ever really gets me there. But part of it, I think, is because I use these Connecticut audio design mics. They're pretty old, and it's the Equitech E100, and I have a set of these, and they're kind of special. They have a presence to them that you can't really get from most mics. So I shot a bunch, 57, 58, E100, 845, RE20, whole bunch of mics, shot this cab. And I started playing around with doing blends, IR blends, just before I shut down and came over here to set this up. And the blends are really interesting. Got to spend a little bit of time to phase align everything, like just so, but definitely worth it. I'm the closest to like my sound that I've ever been, which is nice. El Paul says, hey, Bunn, I'm fine, thanks. Baritone question. Are there any differences between Dan Electro Vintage versus 56 baritones? I believe the only difference is look and feel. The feel is identical. Unless you get them from like completely different manufacturing years, the consistency is quite good with Dan Electro. But if it's like 5 years apart in terms of when they were made, one might feel slightly different than the other. Nothing too major though. Like I say, Dan Electro is pretty excellent in consistency. Very simple guitars. And to answer your question about differences, like they look like they would be very different because one's semi-hollow and the other one looks like it's solid, but they are in fact all semi-hollow. They are all constructed the same. And the vintage baritone from Dan Electro just happens to have that cutout. It's not really an F hole. It's like an S hole, I guess. But yeah, they are identical in most ways. I found that between the two that I had, I had of the dolphin headstock ones, I've had 3 or 4 of the black dolphin headstock ones, and I've had 1 of the white vintage models. But of all of them that I had, they all sounded pretty much the same. But I used the vintage quite a bit differently. So, I don't have a super clear perspective on it, other than they all sound exactly like a Dan Electro, which is mostly the pickups. The pickups are like 90% of the Dan Electro tone. So, Road Bull, good to see you, man. I hope all is well. Hot as balls over there. Yes, it's very cool here. This is my partner's place, and she's balling and has AC, so it's quite cool here. But it's nice outside. It was a warm day outside. I took a walk to that Long and McQuaid. And actually, I don't know. You can see right here. There's a few guitars here. I went and got a new stand because I'm moving guitars from the studio. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm moving out of that studio. I'm moving everything here. All my operations are going to be here. And the Bunn studio, as we know it, it will cease to exist at the end of August. But yeah, it was hot out, but it was a nice walk. It was a nice summer walk out to that Long McQuaid. However, across Canada, I know that there are some official like heat waves popping up here and there. So you're on the East Coast, that might be going on for you. Synth Chris, how are you, brother? Do you have any tracks for me, Synth Chris? I'll take a look. And El Paul got it, going to buy the 56 baritone. Thanks. Awesome. Yeah. They might in 2023, they might release the baritones back with the Coke bottle headstock. They did a short run just before 2022 and there was a limited stock, but they were all in jade green though. Anyway, Yune, how are you? You're doing a good thing. You're doing a good thing. You're the best. And Nikhil, big move. Yes, big move. 13 Flaws. Good to see you. Good morning. So we're going to get on with it here because I'll be dipping back in and out of the chat. I have it set up now that I can see the chat all the time. It does not disturb my streaming. So that's great. So we also have quick keys. Check that out. Holy jumping. First up on the chopping block today is Monovoth. Monovoth just released this. It is a pre-release, but there is a track that we can listen to called Servants. And for those of you who don't know, Monovoth is Lucas Weisbrod from Argentina, a pal of mine. I've, done a bunch of things, not a bunch of things with Lucas, but we've been connected for a long time, and we did this sort of pseudo split release a couple months ago. But this release is in October 7th, but it was posted up about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I think it was a week ago. And we're going to listen to the pre-release. Let's just take a look at some of the artwork. Really awesome limited edition CD. Looks so good. And it is a kind of doom, post-doom kind of thing. But this track is called Servants. Let's take a listen. I'm going to do a little skim here. Show that it gets big and all that kind of stuff, and it even gets into a more surprising part after that. But Servants is the track by Monovoth, and for those of you who either forget or haven't been here or whatever the case may be, we don't listen to whole tracks. We just kind of skim through them. This is kind of in the world of doom kind of stuff. So the intro, it takes a while to build up. I should have started skimming a little bit earlier, but cool vibes and tones and all of that. And whatchamacallit, I am really stoked to hear the whole thing, to hear the whole record. October is the day. So that is Servants from Monovoth. Argentina-based solo creator. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Lucas, he writes obviously everything and, does all the recording and production himself. But I think he also does the mixing. But as far as I know, I could be wrong on this, but as far as I know, it was mastered by somebody else. Let's see if there's notes, actually. There might be notes. Production by Sebastian. So a little bit of help with some other stuff here. Mixing, mastering, Sebastian. Oh, okay. So, whatchamacallit? Lucas had a little bit more help. I think there was a little bit of collaboration as well. This other person might be a guitar player as well. Not exactly sure. Hands, Andrew, Sebastian. Yeah. Oh. Arranged by Sebastian, electric guitar. Yeah, couple people contributing to that. But the work is mostly Lucas's. Anyhow, let's get over here. Queue up for the next one. Going to reset my my cool levels here. I think -3 is my target volume. Very curious what you cats are up to. I'm just going to catch up in the chat a little bit here. We got Uni. You're doing a great thing. Bam. Synth Chris says he has no tracks this month. No, because he put out like 500 tracks like just 2 months ago. I know you're a machine, but it's fine. You already did the work. So we can wait another month or so for another full length album from Synth Chris. Whatchamacallit? Nick Hill is saying Wraitho. I got some Wraitho queued up. It's actually next on the chopping block here. And 13 Plus says any Wells. Nick Hill says Steven and I are trying to make time for Wells stuff. We have a folder full of riffs. So soon there will hopefully be some Wells stuff. Yini says, I just figured out how to pop out the chat on another window. Finally, I can chat and watch in full screen HD 8K. Awesome. Synth Chris says, oh, here we go. That's big. Not sure. And C. Williams, good to see you. Mouth of the Architect vibes. Yeah, there were some Mouth of the Architect vibes in Lucas's track. A little bit of that, and if anybody knows Examination of the, and they changed their name a few times. It was like Examination of the, then Examination of, and then just exam, I think is examination, or maybe just exam in the end. Apparently a sketchy bunch of folks, but they did some really, really great work. Anyone who does not know of Exam, check it out. I'm not going to get too far into it, but definitely some shared vibes between Exam and Monovoth as well. That sort of post-hardcore influenced down-tempo, doomy kind of stuff, which I tend to prefer over any of the metal-influenced stuff, generally speaking. And 13 Flies, very cool. Uni 9x9x9. Not sure. Is that the, whatchamacallit, the dimensions of your television? It's 9 inches deep or 9 feet deep. Imagine, like rear projection. Not too sure. Gear Stuff and Things. Hi, how are you, Gear Stuff and Things? Very good to see you, Steven. So we're going to move on to the next one. And this next one is our buddy Wraitho Quarter. There we go. I got to press the right buttons. I just need to move my screen to make sure that I'm there. I'm there. Great. So Wraith a Quarter, for those who are new to Wraith a Quarter, he is part of the sort of Bunn world, Bunn communities. I've, known Matt is his official name, but I've known Matt for a little bit through doing the YouTube thing and doing this solo musician thing on the internet. And he's no different than the rest of us that way. He's going for it. He has an excellent YouTube channel. So if you don't know Wraith a Quarter YouTube channel, I highly recommend you check it out. Excellent cinematic compositions, like very well done. And this here is, a release that Matthew just did. Written, performed, recorded, programmed, mixed, and mastered by Matthew John Molt. And that is the man behind Wraith a Quarter. And what's different about this release over some of his previous releases is a lot of vocals. His last release, this one here, we'll just click on that real quick, which is In the Mouths of Wolves. He sang on that with a guest vocal as well from Rebecca. And but this one here is all 100% Wraitho. So without further ado, let's listen to some Wraitho. I'm just going to stop that. So yeah, Wraith a Quarter. I really, really dig this track. And it only came out a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, right before the turn of the month. And I saw it pop up in my Bandcamp feed, and I was like, whoa, surprise, surprise. Tasty little bit here from pal Matt. Excellent effort. Very unique overall feel. It sounds like his own music, which is definitely something to be celebrated. There's enough familiarity in it in terms of various vibes and whatnot. It's like, okay, I understand this. It's not alienating. Not that alienating is good or bad or anything like that. I'm just kind of talking. But yeah, it is really excellent material, really interesting compositions, really well put together. And he put himself out there on a limb and started doing vocals some months back. And I think it's really kind of paying off for him. So I'm curious how many of you, if this is a style that you're interested in. I think it's really good. It wouldn't necessarily be right off the top like something I would go to, but because it's close enough to me, I've had the opportunity to kind of listen to it, and I don't think I would have ended up there naturally, just because it wouldn't have fallen in my circles. So I'm glad it did. I don't know if that makes sense, but I normally probably wouldn't have discovered this unless I discovered the way that I have, because, we're connected. But I'm happy that happened, because I don't know, sometimes you just miss things completely because your world is so small, and my world is very small in terms of music. So yeah, very thankful to know Matt, and to be able to bop to good tunes. To the old chatteroony here, we got, we meant that the music sounded big. Oh, 9 by 9 by 9. That's an amazing saying. It's like, how does the music sound? 9 by 9 by 9. Like, it's big. I like that. Nikhil is saying, holy crap. Yeah, the Raytho is killing it. He's got his own sound, and really digging it. Sounds like that math metal Swedish band. Don't know that band. And Nikhil, this is Killer Nikhil. Mouse does music. Hello, sir. What brings your handsome face to this place? I don't know. We might all have to, just quit because you're too good looking. Sorry. Sorry, just had to tell the truth there. Too good looking for us to coexist here. Anyhow, good to see you, Mr. Miles Does Music. And Nikhil says the vocals are great. Yeah, I think Matt did a great job of the vocals. And it's tough to put yourself out there when, you're everything. You're like, I'm going to do all of the music, and that's already unnerving enough, or whatever the saying is. But then it's like, oh, I'm going to put my yelling, screaming vocal on it too. Like, it's hard. It's hard to do that. and just do it. And yeah, I don't know. Awesome. And Mr. Williams is saying vocals are reminded of some Emperor vocals. Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of that black metal scrape to it. But yeah, it doesn't have the sort of posturing of black metal, but it definitely has sort of the tonality, I guess. Good observation. And gear stuff and things. Esan, you guys like Esan? I know. At the studio, there's another guy with a space above me, and he's really into Esan, and he'll recite all things about Esan to me at length. And Nikhil, Meshuggah vibes, I meant. Oh, are they a math metal band from Sweden? I guess. Never. It's funny that didn't even cross my mind. It's so weird. I was talking about Meshuggah today, and I was like, Chaosphere is by far my favorite Meshuggah album, like hands down. I like all their material, but man, Chaosphere, it's such a balls to the wall album. Modern Esan. Yeah, it's a bit more. Yeah, it's definitely more like of a kind of a hardcore influence, not hardcore like metalcore. Raythos stuff, definitely a lot more. I don't know if he's into hardcore stuff at all, but it has more of that sort of post-hardcore energy to it rather than just like metal, which I appreciate for sure. I don't have anything against metal, but metal can be it's very posturing kind of stuff, and this sounds a little bit more natural. Miles, I saw the Bandless pop up on my TV, and I was all like, I gotta get in there. That's amazing. Cool. I'm gonna head to the next one here because there's quite a few to get through today. And this one comes to us from yet another member. And this is our buddy Al Paul. Al Paul finished a track at the end of July 24th. So quite recent. And he's exploring more of the, more of the vibes and flavors of the Thal kinds of tastes. So let's give it, I think I just need to double check that my levels are good. They are good. Okay. I've played stuff before with the volume completely down. Very cool, Al Paul. The interplay is very complicated. It must have taken you some time to map it all out. Really well done. The low part, where it goes like unbelievably low, and you can hear like the strings sound like they're shaking. I actually like that. I like how it was like, it sounded like the strings were going to fall off the guitar, but it brought this vibe that you just wouldn't get if it didn't have that quality. Very cool. And you're doing, as far as I know, you're doing this all by yourself. Just a one-man show. It says, I believe it says here somewhere from Hexualize. Yeah, we're right here. One man, Genty, and Thal stuff. One-man band. Coming to us all the way from the Ukraine. I hope you're staying safe. Things are wild over there. And something that I've been forgetting to do, I'm gonna back up here, and we're gonna go and do links, because bam, live streaming. Bam. So this is the link to Al Paul's stuff, False Gods. And bam. Let's go to, I'm going to do everybody's links here. This is Wraitho Quarters link. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. And I'm usually a little more on top of this, and I just do it as I go, but I kind of got taken away. I'm out of practice. I missed 2 months or 2 weeks, 2 months or a month. I missed 1 month. Whoa. I don't know how to use a mouse either, apparently. And here we go. Bam. So cool. Good. El Paul, staying safe. That's great. And cool. The real Prometheus soundtrack. Yeah. El Paul, it's an octave down E string. Amazing. Yeah. I dig it. I dig that. And let's go back here and get the next one queued up. Very cool. All right. And what do we got here? We got them all in there. Yeah. False Gods, Wraith of Quarter, and Monovoth. So if you want to listen to entire tracks, you can follow the links through. For those of you who are new to this stream, we don't listen to full tracks. We just kind of get a taste of it. And it's up to you if you want to listen to the whole thing. If you want to support the artists, it is Bandcamp Friday, so all proceeds go to the artist if you do buy any tracks. Let's get on to this one. So, bam. And I got to change a few things around here. Bam. And here we go. Oh, we're already there. Great. So this is from a member named Sloth, a sloth named Argyle in the Bunn or Bandless community. Can't remember which community exactly. I kind of treat them similarly in a way. Anyway, world premiere. This came out this past month, as far as I know. Yeah, July 10th. So it came out after the last, I guess before Juneteenth, but you know, no. Yeah, it came out after the last Bandcamp Friday because there was one in July, right? Anyway, so we're gonna check that out. I gotta set my volume back up here. I did that cool, tasteful fade. Bam. Let's go to -3. -3 is a good number. And so as far as I know, this is just one person and not a band. But if I'm wrong on that, let me know. Dreadful dissonance with hardcore edge, driven onwards by one man's disbelief at the world around him. So I'm pretty sure it's just him, just his work. Kind of thing, and the super low guitars, and I don't know, arguably it's not like the newest thing in the world, but there's something fresh about it. I don't know if that's the thing that kind of is giving the freshness, and that kind of that sort of vibe is a difficult vibe to kind of like renew, to do it in a kind of fresh way, but there's something fresh about it. I find it very satisfying. And I love the urgency of those kinds of vocals. Like I don't know. I grew up punk and hardcore stuff, so I tend to favor that side of things. But let's get the whatchamacallit, the link in the old chat. And that is Deceive, Defeat, and Delete by Sloth of Argyle. Username in the Bunn or Bandless group. Let's take a look here. This is Bandless. Yeah, in the Bandless. A sloth named Argyle. And let's get over here and man, even though my technology is better than usual, still a little bit of fooling around to do. Gonna queue up the next one. We've got 20 more minutes of streaming. Heading into the chat here. Synth Chris, Miles, you guys are having inner chats. Alexandro, how are you, man? Catching a Bunn stream first time. Oh, dude, stoked that you're here. It's, at least here in Toronto, it's a hot August evening. I'm chilling indoor with all the heat barricaded out. Hope you're well. Hope, life is good and safe and all those great things and you're being creative. Gear Stuff and Things says Mark Hunter vibe vocal. Yeah, definitely. Synth Chris says this is sick ASF. What is ASF? I don't know what that. I don't know ASF. I know AF. I'm hip with the AF lingo. But you got to cut me some slack. I'm a 50-year-old man, not too hip. Paul says production's really good, tasty bass, guitar tones. Yeah, it was really well done. And I think he does everything by himself. And Gear Stuff and Things, Hot in Toronto, Bunn's new podcast. Yes, obviously, I do the whole podcast in a Speedo. But I grow my beard to cover my whole body, so I will be a sloth man in a Speedo. It's good content. Trust me, you guys are gonna love it. The Bunn Hot in Toronto podcast. Alexandra says, I second that. As F you, I don't know. And whatchamacallit, Gear Stuff and Things. Did you paint those paintings? No, I did not. My partner is an abstract painter and does some figurative oriented stuff. Everything is sort of through the lens of abstract, even if it's not fully abstract. There's always an abstract influence in a lot of the stuff that isn't exclusively abstract. But yeah, she's been painting for many years, and COVID was a kind of weird time, and the place is like overrun with paintings. I don't mind at all. Like, for me, it's a good vibe, but I think some people would be like, there's so many paintings everywhere. I'm like, yeah, keep them coming. It's a cool vibe. El Pa says, excuse me for my French. Then don't worry about it, man. I don't actually understand everything in chat format. There's a lot of stuff that goes over my head too, because I'm Asperger's. Or ASD. It's not fashionable to call it Asperger's anymore, but anyway. So we got another one here. We got two more to hit. Alexandra was saying they look sick, Bunn. Sick as album covers. Yeah, some of them would make really cool album covers. This one, you can't see it behind, but one of the ones beside me right now is amazing. Oh, I could just do this, I guess. That one. I love that one a lot. Anyway. Where's my OBS? Bam, bam. Here we go. All right. And 2. Right on. So Kazuki Hiratani is next up on the list. Kazuki is a member of the Bandless community and the baritone obsessed world of things and all that. One-man show from New Zealand. And, you know, he does a bunch of different kinds of stuff, like post-rock kind of stuff, like this Golden Graves stuff is more of a post-rock kind of thing. And then what we're going to be listening to, One Light, is kind of what's the name of this kind of music? I can't remember what they call it. Not vaporwave. I think it's something wave, but it's a more electronic, cool, building up kind of synth-oriented thing. But we're going to take a listen to that. I'm just going to check my levels, make sure they're up, because they were not up, because I'm good at that. And here we go. Kazuki Hiratani. Yeah, like cool earthy synthy stuff, and you know, the building and all of that. What I like the most about Kazuki's stuff is that he's like just going for it, and he's into like all these different kinds of music, and he's fully exploring all of it. And I don't know, it's not necessarily brave to do that, but it's something that a lot of people would like to do, and they just don't. And they feel compelled to have to focus on just one thing and really kind of, you know, oh, sorry, my mouse has stuff all over it. Yeah, there's this pressure on a lot of people, self-imposed pressure to kind of like just focus on one thing and really like try and be the best at that, or really grow it or whatever. But when you're sort of a one-person show, like you can do whatever you want. You're an artist. And I think that's sort of the difference, like being an artist and exploring multiple mediums and like getting your hands dirty with all the things that you're musing on. And if at some point you land on a particular discipline, then that's fine. If not, and you'd like to just keep exploring, that's fine too. You don't need to, there's, you know, that weird pressure to like focus and really grow your effort. Maybe some people don't care about that, and they just want to explore their art. So I really like that about Kazuki. He doesn't care. He's just going for it. And, you know, the work is just constantly getting better and expanding and trying new things. And, you know, things are integrating, things are breaking apart. It's cool. I'm going to get over to, what do we got here? OBS 1. There we go. Big camera. Back to the big camera. And we're going to put it in the streamer Rooney. What do you call that? The chat? going to put the link in there. Bam, bam. Kazuki Hirotani. We got one more. 850. Great. Bam. Bam. And so I'm going to get right into this one. This one is a band effort, PTL. The fella behind it is in the Bunn Bandless oriented communities. He goes by the username Fleur. Really ambitious Australian bunch of folks. This is a band effort, but from what I understand, like Fleur is, I think, the principal writer. And they're trying to do this like brutal thing, but still write songs and still have melody in it, even though, they want to go for the brutal thing, which I appreciate, the prioritization of melody. Let's take a listen. Just going to do a quick rejigging of the level here because, I would have played it and there would have been no sound. PTL.
I'm so fucking cold. Did you dig this hole that I find myself in now? I'm sick of trying, living's lying. I follow you right now.
Bam, back to the big camera. So yeah, pretty heavy stuff. And where's my chat? Different computer. And whatchamacallit? Rough Riffs, how are you? You made it in. And Gear Stuff and Things, love this vibe. I think you guys are talking about the Kazuki Hirotani stuff. And Miles does music. He likes the vibe. Sounds like a Netflix show. You're definitely talking about Kazuki stuff. Yeah, it was, it just has a good vibe. It's like, I dig it. And Nick Hill and Synth Chris, damn, and This Is Stupid Heavy about the PTL stuff. Yeah, it's quite heavy. We didn't really get too much into the sort of more melodic sections, but, it does happen. Yeah, for those of you who are really into the like destroying, punishing breakdowns, but still are interested in having sort of songs that kind of tie everything together, PTL might be what you're looking for. Doing a good job. They're really ambitious, and we'll see what happens. And yeah, Synth Chris says some sick synth action. Yeah. they're stealing your philosophy. The ultra brutals with the synths. You gotta get out there and do 10 more albums, Chris. The rate you do albums, you'll be able to proliferate the synth Bible, the brutal, crushing synth Bible. And no one shall steal it from thou. Is that language? I don't know. Anyway, Alejandro, am I saying it right? Alexandro? I'm not sure exactly. What is Bandless? What is this? Bandless, it's a community, something that Nick Hill and I started a couple years ago, and then Synth Chris and Gear Stuff and Things and Miles Does Music, we all kind of tried to keep the sort of multi-stream aspect of it going. I think every week we used to do it, which is hard to believe, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we did it every week. And we took, it was all about being sort of a band of one. And even if you were in a band or are in a band, there's obviously a whole bunch of things about, like a whole bunch of topics in being a bandless person, a band of one, a solo artist, that translates into being a band or whatever. But for the past little bit, we've just been focusing on more the Discord communities and this monthly Bandcamp Friday thing, celebrating people's tracks. And just keeping it together, getting stoked on music, getting stoked on the community of music and all that kind of stuff. So that's what it's about. This coming fall, we may or may not, it depends, but we may kind of bring back the multi-stream thing where it's like conversational, and maybe bring more guests in. Not exactly sure. Depends on whatchamacallit, like available bandwidth and time. I don't mean internet bandwidth. I mean mental bandwidth. That was the most difficult thing about doing the weekly thing. Nick Hill says right here, the Nick burned out. Yeah, Nick, he couldn't hack it. It was too much awesome for him. He's like, I can't handle how awesome this is all the time. Anyway, what do we got here? 8:58. We've got 2 minutes to go. I'm going to shut her down here. But I usually have a track for the Bandcamp Fridays. I do not right now. I'm working on 3 tracks right now, and I got 3 going at the same time, and hence probably why none of them are done. But I'm trying to do a clump of foreign stuff. I'm trying to focus on foreign stuff for a little while because it's been a long time coming. And yeah, so working on some foreign tunes. And I've also been working on like a bunch of assets for myself, as well as to share with other people, to sell and all that kind of stuff. But I was shooting IRs today. So I have a bunch of mics and a bunch of cabinets. And today I shot a Mesa oversized 2x12. I have a set of those, 2 of those. And maybe either tomorrow or Sunday, I'm going to shoot a Soledano cab, a Sur cab, a 5150 cab, like the Black Stealth 5150 cab, a Recto full-size cab, and an Angle cab. And yeah, it should be fun. Oh, and a bunch of bass cabs, because bass for me is really important. And for me, the bass the cab tone has to be a certain way, and it's actually hard to find in IR land. So I'm just going to shoot a bunch of them. So that's what I've been doing. I'm curious what you guys have been doing. Any music, Alexandro? Are you working on anything? And Nick Hill says we should. Yeah, this fall we should try and do a few anyway. Meaning bandless, like conversational streams. Bring a few of the topics back. Alexandra is saying he wants to see conversational streams. Great. Personally, I'd like to see those conversational streams again. Okay, everyone's into it. Yeah. They were great. Got bummed out when they went away. Yeah, they were difficult to keep together. And one thing I know is when the conversational streams just turn into like an inside conversation between the people in the stream, like if it's not kind of about something, you just watch the numbers just go down. It's not about just the numbers, but like if we're going to do these streams, we might as well do them so that we're sharing experiences, sharing knowledge, sharing questions, even like just, if we do them, it needs to be about the sharing of being, a bandless person and the struggles of that, and, helping each other get over things or through things. And in order to do that, you need to prepare for those kinds of streams. Just a little bit, but still, it's when your week is really stacked, sometimes it's difficult to prepare. So that's kind of why that went by the wayside. But definitely looking to kind of get back into that in the autumn. I would like to. And it seems the other cats would like to as well. And Miles is saying, I've been making all the moves, making you look lazy. No, you don't look lazy at all. You crush me in social media, that's for sure. And Nikhil, definitely wasn't from a lack of desire or appreciation for the group community. Oh, definitely not. No. Very stoked. We're all very stoked. And I'd like to bring in maybe some outside guests, people, very muest how like what we're doing with the Bandcamp pages is like have one of these creators, guest and kind of go through the, what's difficult for you, what is really easy for you, and what do you have to say about that? Like, what do you have to share that makes those things really easy for you? What kind of questions do you have? Like, what are you in the dark about? Those are all the kinds of things I want to know about other creators. One of the things that's interesting about doing this whole, music and video thing, like I never thought I'd ever be a video creator, but I happened to become a video creator with the YouTube channel and all that stuff. And I got really into it. I'm like, oh, it has to be cinematic and really kick ass. And it's like in my brain, it's never good enough. And I always got to push harder. And, but it adds this layer to doing everything. It's awesome. Like I love doing it. Like I love the creative aspect of it. But it definitely makes everything like harder and slower and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things about all of that is when you're like that deep into doing all this video stuff and that deep into doing all this audio stuff, you're doing all the production, all the writing, all the mixing, all the mastering, all the distribution, all of it, all the graphics. When you're that deep into it, you kind of like lose sight of what is actually difficult and what is actually easy and what you're actually even struggling with. It's a weird thing. So it's great to talk to other creators who are striving for similar ends. They don't need to be doing it in the same capacity or whatever. Anyone doing any of this kind of stuff, it's always great to talk to them. So hopefully we're going to be able to bring that back and maybe expand on that. But time is it? It's 9:04. I'm gonna shut her down here. Last little comb of the comments. Alexandra says, I have a Bandcamp that I am modeling after your process. Amazing. Miles does music. You've been making all the moves. Nikhil says, okay. Miles says, it's got to have structure for sure. I'm also into the idea of bringing it back. Yes. And Uni says, damn, I'd be happy if I could get to your level of video proficiency. Oh, you can. Anybody can get to any level that exists. And it's always easier to get to a level of however you perceive that level, when you can see it. Like with music, it's easy to get to a similar level of music if you're listening to a certain kind of music. And you're like, I'd like to get to that level of music. Well, you can, because you can hear it. If you'd like to get a certain level of video, you can, because you can see it. So as soon as you can observe it, you can start to kind of compartmentalize it and break it down. And, and then kind of model your process after that to get to that level. And hopefully along the way sort of acquire your own perspective in doing it. Usually you do. It's usually difficult to not acquire your own perspective. It's just part of who we are. It makes its way into everything we do, hopefully. But if you like my method of making videos, I guarantee you could do it. You would be surprised at how crappy my gear is. My cameras, I'm not joking, they're $150. You could buy the same cameras that I use for $150. The lenses are under $100. I use very, very, very low grade gear. And I get a real buzz out of using terrible things and trying to get like ridiculous results out of it, trying to push what is possible. I just get a buzz out of that. Of course, I would like a 12K camera because reframing would be great and all that kind of stuff. There's a few things that I would like to sort of up my process with, but the gear isn't the thing. The process is the thing. And if you want to get there, you can get there. And if there's anything I can help you with, you ask me. I'm going to just do one last thing here. I need to switch to the chat in this stream. If you have any technical questions, Scott at thebunn.ca. If you ever have any kinds of technical questions about producing music or producing videos, and it's something that I can possibly help with, the truth is I won't be able to, I don't know why the screen changed there. I won't be able to help with everything. I don't know everything. I know a few things. But if it happens to be the few things that I do know, I am happy to share. Anybody that I can help, send me an email. And if I can help you, I will help you. Because a ton of people help me get anywhere. I'm not even very far along, but like the number of people that have helped for me to get there is a crazy number of people. So I'm happy to pay it forward if I can. Anyway, I'm going to shut down this stream. Where's my thing? Gary Hubbs, you're coming in late. Hope you're well, man. And Nikhil says, those limitations push you to focus on composition and framing. Yeah, 100%. And color and, story, all those sorts of things. Things that tend to really matter in anything you're doing. Anyway, I'm going to kick on out of here, folks. I hope you had a great night and that you enjoyed some of the artists from the community. I hope you enjoyed all the artists from the community. I think they're all fantastic. I think making music is always better than not making music. So, you don't necessarily have to like everybody's style or whatever, but I think the celebration of being a music creator is definitely worth it. So anyhow, I'm going to shut her down. I hope you had a good time, a good evening, and I hope you have a good weekend. And hopefully you get some tracks ready for the next Bandcamp Friday. This will be the very last thing that I do here today. That will be on September the 2nd. So September 2nd is the next Bandcamp Friday. Oh gosh, what did I do? I should have a bunch of tracks ready for that myself. So yeah, get some tracks ready, share them in the Bandless community, share them in an email with me, share them with me somehow. And yeah, we will see you in the next one. Where's the button?